part 4 of the 4-part series building and testing the Mad Bean, Green Bean, Tube Screamer Overdrive.
Okay, so now we just got to get the whole thing into the box with the right parts, right?
So that's right. Yeah, you don't mount the switches until after those are mounted in the box.
Yeah, and we need the right pots. So here's one, and that is the so this guy is the tone control, right? And then we need this we need a switch and the other switch, right? The drive pot, which is this guy right here.
Okay, and what are these?
That's a 500K A or audio taper, and this one is the weird one. It's the 20K W taper. See, there's like a little W right there.
Mm-hmm.
It says W20K, and this one says A 500K.
Okay.
Right. I think this W taper, it's kind of like tapered on the ends, so there's more travel in the middle, so you get like more useful range out of the tone control. You know, I mean, you could probably use any pot here. It's just that the sensitivity of the pot might not be as good as you'd like it to be, you know?
Okay.
Let's see. So then we need a 100K A for the volume control. Okay. So let's see. I got to break off the little pins here. Oops. Let's see here. So we'll break off these little pins.
And that's so they sit flush in the box.
Yeah, well, like I guess like if you could drill a little hole for this pin, and then if the thing was sitting in the box, it wouldn't rotate because this would kind of hold it, you know. But nobody ever does that, and it seems like a big hassle. So usually what people do is they just break this thing off.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be hard to get that quite, you know, like 100% right.
Yeah, you have to plan the drilling like really carefully too. Let's see here. So this is pretty good. What do we got there? So we got our circuit board. So now we got to make sure that we put the right pot in the right location. So the tone control is this guy right here. Yeah, tone. Okay, so the tone goes over here like this. And the volume is 100K. So it goes over here, and then the drive is the 500K, and it's going to go in here like this, right?
Okay.
And then our switches will go like this, right? So anyway, so it'll look like this right here, you know, get this all to fit in the box there, you know. But the heights here are kind of weird, right? So what we want to do is we want to put all the parts in the box, fit the circuit board on the bottom of it, and solder it, right? Because then it'll be soldered at exactly the right height, right? These pots are kind of cool because they come with this little plastic thing on the bottom, so they won't short out against the back of the circuit board.
Oh, nice.
This one doesn't have that though. So, you know, sometimes I'll glue or stick a little piece of electrical tape on the back here. Let's see, so this is the 20K. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We got to get this we got to somehow put this through here and get everybody to line up. Let's see if I can do this here. Getting close. There.
That's only slightly easier than putting pots into a hollow body.
Only slightly, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think I kind of got it there, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these nuts on here to kind of hold everything in place, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if I can screw these down, right? And then put this one on here. We can always take it apart again too. It's just that when we solder them, we want the heights to all kind of match up. And if we solder it before it goes in the box, it's hard to align the tops of the circuit boards, you know. So they don't have to be tight, just snug, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the LED. Shoot, I forgot about the LED, but we'll do that. We'll just do that in a second pass, right?
Okay.
But we could have soldered the LED on there too at the same time, and that would have been super convenient. Okay, cool. So let's try and solder these guys now. It's a little bit tight in there, but I think it won't be too much trouble, right? So let's see here. There, I think we're good.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
But now you gotta take it out so you can put the LED on.
Yeah. Okay, so we forgot the LED, but I think we're okay. Hey, there we go.
You're
Right, so that's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see like the parts kind of sit up a little bit off the board, you know, and you can see like the pots sit up a little bit, like they're not flush against the board, but the switches are, because these are a little taller than these, right? So now if we put all the parts in the box and then put the board on it, now we know that everybody's soldered at exactly the same height.
Great.
Right, so that was the use there. It actually kind of worked for us, right? Yeah, you can see like the legs here are like up a little bit off the board. They're not pushed all the way down on the board, right? So anyway, so that's pretty good. So let's get the LED here. So we got to make sure, okay, so there's like a long leg and a short leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like this is the long leg. It's got to go in the square or the plus side. It's hard to see here, but the LED, actually on this side, the LED has like a plus. There's a tiny little plus right there on this side, and the pad right here is square, right? So I'm gonna put this guy on this side like this, right? And then we can like insert it in here again. Right, maybe I won't put all the nuts on, I'll just put a couple. Okay, great, so there we go. So now I'm just gonna kind of lead the LED like into the hole there, right? So I got the LED is poking through the hole in the bottom of the case, and it's coming through the circuit board right there at just the right height, and now we can just solder it. We'll just confirm one more time that the long leg is going through the square hole, right? Before we solder everything. Yeah, I think we're good, right?
Looks good.
Okay. Yeah, and then we can like trim off these legs here. Let's see, so maybe we could put some put the switch in here. Right? Let's see if we can get these things. Sometimes I don't like this plastic thing, you know? Sometimes I don't use it. I'm going to use it for now. We can always take it off later.
Okay. And
I got some... Oh, go on.
Is there an up and a down on that switch, or is it just...
Oh, it's just on or it's off, so, you know...
So it doesn't matter which way you put it in?
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter which direction you put it in, but it does matter the orientation of the lugs.
Mm-hmm.
So the flat side should be parallel with, or like the lugs should be, they're kind of flat, right? So they should be parallel with the ends of the box, right? They shouldn't be parallel with the sides, because there's 3 switches, right? And the pole in the center is like the center of the switch, and it either connects to the outer one or the other one, right? This one, the outer one, or the other outer one, right?
Okay.
You know, but it doesn't connect across this way, right? It goes across like that. So like the way that the wiring diagram is going to show it, it's going to show it like this. So we have to make sure that that matches, right?
Got it.
This one kind of looks like a poor quality switch, but we'll take a chance. We'll take a chance on it, right? There's like some glue that holds these lugs in place, but you can see like there's no glue on this, like that red stuff, right? Epoxy or something, right? There's no glue on this last lug right here, but whatever, we'll go for it. I think it'll be fine. There we go. And then we'll have to remember to insert the chip here too, right? So we haven't put that in, but we'll just do that as a last step. We have a socket here too, so we could take it out and replace it with a different chip, right? So any of those dual op amps will work there, though some work better than others, right? So so we could, it's possible to experiment with that. So let's see. So we need a couple jacks here. These, I like these right here. These are like super small. So I save these for the 1590A boxes, right? I should have bought more of these. I didn't realize I was short of jacks. So I might use one. I guess I'll just use 2 of these right here, right? Okay, so anyway, so that's cool. So let's get this, we got to get this power jack on here, right? Yeah, there we go, right? And then we could put a couple of these in here. Right. I also have one of these jacks here so I could like test. Oh, that's how it's going to connect. Actually, that doesn't look like it's connecting very well, but I think it'll work. Yeah, that one works good. Okay, so what do we got to do now? So I guess now we just got to do the off-board wiring, right?
Yep.
So we got to wire up the switch and then run the wires to the jacks and the power supply and the board, right? So the board has kind of a header right here with the various connections, right? So I think this is the positive and negative for the power supply over here. And then this G is probably ground. And then maybe the L is for the LED, like these 2 go for the LED. And then the I and the O are probably the input and the output, right?
That would make sense.
But the diagram that they give you with the circuit board is pretty good, so we can just follow that diagram. I leave a little bit of the wire exposed, sticking out of the top of the circuit board, like I can solder it from the top.
Okay, and you won't be melting a bunch of the plastic casing into the solder joint.
No, I think it'll be okay. I think I've done this before like this, and it was okay. It's a little tight, but whatever. Let's give it a try, right? So I played a lot of Operation when I was a kid. So... And then sometimes what I do is I heat the thing up, get it soldered, and then I'll push the wire a little bit through the circuit board like that. And then, like, that looks like a pretty good joint. It's nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah, and then I'll do the other one, right? Let's see, so we got to do a wire from ground here that connects here, here, and here. It connects to all 3 of these, and it goes over to this thing, right? Over here. And we should do this. Maybe we should have these 3 connect to here, and then have this one connect to here, you know? I think that that'll work the same way, right? So it's a little like building a ship in a bottle, right? So this guy needs to connect from here to here and then come around and connect to this jack right there. So if we had kind of a long piece of wire like this, right, something like that length maybe. And then we need like a, need to strip it enough to where it can go through here. Right.
And you're not worried about shorting out on those two lugs that it's going to go in between?
Oh yeah, I'm totally worried that it's going to do that. I'm going to have to do my best to make sure that it doesn't, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is pretty common, like you see this, like even like the Zvex pedals, he does this, so. You know what I mean? Those are professionally made, and they just he does it the same way every time. I think they just have it down to a science. They do it the same way every time. They're careful. Sometimes, like, I've done this, and I take a little piece of this stuff that I've stripped off and plugged it into the middle there. But I don't know. I'm going to just not do that this time. Okay, I think we're good.
All right.
Not super neat and tidy, but not too bad, right?
Well, I think it looks great, especially compared with like the Mad Bean or the Electra.
Yeah, that Electro is kind of a mess. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I'm just kind of looking at these joints that we soldered for the switch and stuff, and these pots, just to make sure that they look pretty good. But I think they look good.
All right.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, and the final touch is to put that that chip in.
Oh yeah, we better put the chip in. That won't work. Won't work unless we put the chip in. Let's put these nuts on too here, right? But there we go. Right?
Looks great.
Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. So the classic first test is just to see if the LED goes on, right? So let's see here. The LED is going on, the switch is going off. I think we're looking pretty good, right? So now we can plug it in. Let's plug it into the amp and see if it works, right?
Okay.
See here, I bought some of these chips. So these are JRC 4558. It's the classic Tube Screamer chip. Let's see. So So now we just got to get this pin in here, or this chip in there. So here's the chip. Okay, so it says 4558D, and then in the middle it says JRC. So JRC is the manufacturer, and the 4558 is the part number, right? And then there's a little circle right here, so that marks pin 1, right? So this little circle is right on pin 1. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is this one, and 1 is this one. And the thing is, some of the chips will have a notch at this end, or they'll have a dot, and then you can see the diagram on the circuit board there has, and this socket has a little notch on this side. So that's telling us that the chip needs to be oriented to match, right? To where the notch or the dot is at the same end with the notch here, right? Okay, so I'm gonna kind of straighten out these pins a little bit and see if I can plug this in here. Oh, there we go. There. Chip in board, right? Okay.
Completed.
So here's the clean sound. Got the bridge pickup, right? It's pretty good. Okay. So let's see what the tube screamer sounds like, right? So that's with the gain all the way down. Pretty crunchy, right?
The tone up. There's like a little more gain, right? That was the tone control, right? So I just went through the range on the tone control. Let's turn up like halfway up on the gain. Okay.
There's the fat switch. So I think that's the fat. I think that's the fat off. I think that's the fat on.
That's fat on.
Right. pretty good. Actually, you know, with it off to it, there's kind of some hum, but I think that's more the amp than the pedal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, like that didn't change the noise, so it's not like it's adding a lot of noise or anything either. It seems to have like kind of a good mid-range too, so it'd be good, I think, in the band setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like some pedals sound really cool, and then in the band setting, you can't hear them, you know. Like the Big Muff is like that. Yeah, it sounds great.
Let's try this asymmetry switch.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to figure out which position is what. Let's try it. Here it is. Play. I think this is with the asymmetrical clipping when it's outside here, and this is like with the asymmetrical, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It
So
sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does sound good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
Pretty
super
good for
super rocking.
$30 and a few hours of work.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is great. Yeah. I mean, like I think the cool thing about building these yourself is you kind of get an insight into how the thing works, but it's also a lot cheaper, so you don't have to feel guilty about buying a bunch of expensive pedals and then not using them. If it only costs $30 to make, then you're like, oh, I can give this away to someone or like use it. Yeah, this sounds really good.
I think so.